Hey, what's up, family? Hope you are doing well. So glad to see everybody joining on, and I hope that we have a great discussion. I just want to give out a few disclaimers before we even get started. That this is not a man bashing opportunity. We're not looking to destroy men. I just want to make sure that we could have, or I could just simply share my heart on things that I've learned. And I want to talk to the sisters, even some brothers tonight, so that we can kind of clarify some things. And so, first of all, I want to say thank you for joining. I hope that what we do tonight adds some level of value to your life and to the conversation. I also want to say, there's a lot of things going on, and I want to make sure that we can add some level of value to your life. And so I'm honored that you would take time out of your busy schedule to be with me tonight. So I want you to share this with your sisters and your brothers. Listen, we're just going to jump into this. We're talking about dating after dark, and we're just going to get into real conversations about what it means to be single. And I want to talk to my single brothers and my single sisters. And so I want to say, first off, I am not here to bash my brothers. Okay, I'm not here to beat anybody up. I'm not here to bash anybody. I simply want to teach you, my dear sister, how to read. Okay, I can't teach you how to choose, but I can teach you how to read. And I believe if I can teach you how to read, then you will make the right choice. And so I want to start off by saying this, that every man is not the same. Okay, if you're taking notes, I want you to write that down. What's up, everybody? I want to make sure you write that down. Every man is not the same. Every situation is not the same. And every relationship is not the same. The reason why I'm starting there is because I need you to understand that the information that I will give you will not be 100% bulletproof. It will be some things you will have to discern, some things you will have to just ask God for clarity on. But I really want to give you the basics and the foundation of some things that I hope and pray will help you choose better relationships. All right, so oftentimes I'm asked questions by my dear sisters, Pastor, where are the good men? They have so many problems. They don't have it together. I'm doing this. They're not doing that. And I can't find anyone who's compatible. And, I searched the whole world and I can't find nobody. We have all of that going on. And so I just felt led to just really have an honest conversation just to talk to you about what's going on with men. And so I'm going to give you a description of 6 different types of men that I have, I'm going to say, encountered. Once again, it may be more than this. I just want to speak to the 6 that I've kind of created here and hope that it helps you. So I hope if you're ready to get into this, let me hear you say, let's go. Type in the comment section, let's go. All right, so the first thing, sisters, I want you to understand is this, is I want you to address your expectations, and I want you to address what you define as potential. We have a tendency, or you have a tendency to have expectations. Expectations are great. Expectations are, I believe, normal, but make sure that your expectations are literally lined up with standards that are realistic. I believe Disney has messed us up. I believe Disney has messed us up, and we're thinking that some guy's going to come on some horse and some chariot and rescue us, and our lives are going to be happily ever after, and that's just simply not true. The reality is that we have to navigate through life and try to figure this thing out. So when it comes down to your expectations, you have to have a standard first, but the standard has to be realistic, okay? Whatever your standard is, I believe you should have a standard that's biblical. You may be watching today. You may not be of the Christian faith, so you live by a different standard. Whatever standard you have is the standard you have, and you have to operate by that standard, but it has to be realistic. Number 2, make sure you discern what's real and what's potential. I see so many of my dear sisters fall in love with potential. Oh, he has the potential to become this. He has the potential to be great. He has the potential to do this. If I just got behind him and supported him, he would do so many great things. Here's the issue with that. You can't make anybody become something they don't want to become themselves. And even though they may have the potential to do it, the question is, do they want to do it? Do they want to reach that goal? Do they want to attain that level of financial success? Do they want to make that move in their career? And no matter how much you love them and support them, if they don't want it, they're not going to make the move. And so now you've invested all this energy and time into someone who had potential but never moved on it. Okay, so you have to make sure that you're dealing with the reality of the person. So let's dive into this. Man number one. Okay, man number one on my list, or I have 6 of them, all right, is this. The first man is the man who doesn't have it together and he's playing games. His motive primarily is to get what he wants out of the relationship, okay? This is the guy playing the field. He does not care about you. He does not care about a relationship. The only thing he's trying to do is just do whatever is going to make him happy. And whatever that is, that's what it's for. Now, here's the thing about this. When you are dealing with this kind of guy, you got to know he knows how to get your attention. Because he's that kind of guy. He has that kind of swag and that kind of personality where he catches your eye. So here's the thing. This guy also is good in sniffing vulnerabilities, and he's able to sense your appetite. All right. And what I mean by appetite, he can kind of pick up on what you want. Now, this guy, number one, the guy who is playing games, is now looking to settle down. He has this keen ability to see where your vulnerabilities are, and he knows your appetite. This guy only gives you appetizers. All right. So this guy is not going to give you a full course meal. He's not going to take you for the long haul. This is just an appetizer. I'm just going to give you an appetizer and you're going to be good with this. And so what happens is you get caught up into this guy because he looks like that guy and he's flashing. He caught your attention and oh my God, he has the it factor. Listen, be careful because this guy does not care about you. The only thing he's interested in is what he's interested in. That's man number one, all right? Now, you got to understand that the conversation may start off good, that may go off smooth and everything, but eventually, if it probably doesn't lead to a bedroom, he's probably not interested because that's the appetizer. The appetizer is to get him to where he wants to be, all right? Man number two. And I want to say we're going to open up for questions later on and make sure that you share this. We're going to get into this, okay? But man number two. Man number two is the man who has some struggles, all right? Because of choices he made in his past, and he has some baggage. Okay. That's right. We got a guy who made some bad decisions in the past. He's struggling in some areas. That's life. He's not a bad guy because he's struggling in some areas. He's not a bad guy because he has bad credit. He's not a bad guy because he didn't buy a house by the time he was 35. He's not a bad guy because he didn't meet your expectations. It's just that he made decisions in the past that he's living with now, and he has some baggage. Now, I want to define baggage. Baggage is something that you will have to deal with the entire time you are in this relationship. Okay? We can fix your credit. We can fix, we can wait for a certain time, maybe a criminal record or something like that. It's fine. For some of you, listen to me. Baggage may be, I'm not saying this, baggage may be to you a past relationship that he had. Maybe he had children with another woman, and now you have to deal with that relationship and that drama, potential drama, or that tension that's there. And so you have to deal with that baggage. It's nothing wrong with that, but it happens. So you may meet people who may be struggling in the area, and that's cool. Just because he's struggling doesn't mean he's bad. Now, I want to say this to some sisters. This is where you have to be careful, because as you read men, you got to make sure that you are helping him because you want to help him. You're not helping him because you're trying to win his heart. Because if you try to help him because you're trying to win his heart, that means you're positioning yourself in hopes that your assistance will get you married, or your assistance will get you a ring. This is where you can set yourself up to be in a very heartbroken place, and you don't want to be there. So if you're going to help, but don't help with the expectation that it's going to change his heart. I also want to talk to the woman who feel like, hey, I'm a support, I'm a helper. Great. Women are normally helpers and they're supportive, but there's a difference between a helper and a builder. In my conversations, in my interaction with my dear sisters, I hear the help part, but I see the build part. And sometimes when you approach a man who is struggling and you feel like you got to help him, he doesn't mind the help. But when you take the approach like you building him, like you making him, then that's where the problem comes with a guy, because he doesn't mind the help and the support, but he doesn't want to be babied, because it's as if you were handling him as if you were his mother, okay? And for women who feel like they are builders, listen to me. You are scaffolding. So if you are a builder, I'm helping, I'm going to build them. Okay, I just want to let you know, here is a PSA. You are scaffolding. Your Pastor Sim announcement. You are scaffolding, which means if you are a builder, you're going to build that guy all the way up. He's going to get his credit straight. He's going to get his life straight. He's going to be handling his kids right. He's going to have, he's going to start making moves. He's going to buy a house. He may invest in property. He's wealthy. He's making moves. And you're like, oh my God, I helped him. And then he says, yes, it was great, being with you. Thank you for everything you've done. And then he moves on and you're heartbroken. Why? Because after the structure is built, you no longer need the scaffolding. So this is why you're not called to build. Are you hearing the words that are coming out of my mouth? Stop building. You help. You don't build. As a matter of fact, in scripture, the Bible says that God made or formed a man with his hands. But the Bible says he built a woman. He built the woman to help and assist that man. That's something different, but I just want to let you know, women don't build men. Okay? If you build them, you can build them. Just understand, you scaffolding. And after the job is done, he will move on and take everything you gave him, all the assistance that you gave him, and he would give that to another woman who is willing, ready, and available to receive it. Now, I know y'all don't like this kind of preaching, but I promise you, I got to tell you the truth. You got to stop thinking you build them in, especially even in marriages. Sometimes women will say stuff like, oh, girl, I can't give him to nobody else. I spend too much time getting him to where he is right now. And all that work, and so the man you see is the work I put in. Stop. Don't act like nobody put no work into you. You didn't come into the marriage perfect. We both were growing and developing, and we help each other grow, okay? So understand that help isn't building, okay? Helping is assisting. Building is constructing. Okay, so know that. All right, so you have to walk in a level of understanding to know that this relationship may be seasonal. Are y'all with me? All right, so you get. I'm looking at some of these comments. Y'all funny. All right, so that's man number 2. Am I doing all right? Okay, man number 3 is the man who looks like he has it together, but is crashing and burning, but is too arrogant to see it. Now, this guy presents himself. He got swag like number 1. He looks good. He speaks the language of success. His presentation seems flawless. As you continue to engage in conversation, it starts off really well. Maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 months, you in it, you thinking this is it. But all of a sudden, you start seeing these signs and you're like, wait a minute, what's going on? Pause. You got to read that. You have to see that if what he's been saying for the last 6 months has been true. Is it really accurate, or was he just simply a cloud without rain? Someone who shows as if they can do something, but they can't. Now, this is a guy you don't want to deal with, because he's so arrogant to see his problems that if anything ever comes up in the relationship, you will be the problem. Okay? This isn't every guy, but this is some, all right? So what happens is your self-esteem is shot. You think you're the problem. You think you're the issue, and you're doing everything you can to hold him because he needs to change, but he doesn't want to change because he's authentic. Now, let me deal with authenticity. In leadership, there's something called authentic leadership. And authentic leadership is where the person leads an organization and they are themselves. It's like they have charisma, personality, and everybody loves them, and they make decisions because they are being authentically themselves. There's nothing wrong with being authentic, but there is a flaw in authenticity, and here it is. People who lean so much into authenticity don't adapt well. And so what ends up happening is you want people to adapt to you instead of you adapt to them or the situation. So you need to be you, but you have to be you and grow and adapt to be the person God is going to call you to be that you're not today. Okay, so the authenticity is all cool. That's great, but make sure that when things begin to pop up, you know what? He acting kind of funny. He ain't showing up. He ain't returning my phone calls. He's distant. Don't try to figure it out. Read it. Read the words on the paper. Something is going on, that's a red flag. Process that, okay? You have to read that because this guy is going to tell you everything you need to hear. He's going to philosophize his way in everything that you're talking about. He's never really going to answer the question. You ask him something, he go all the way around and around the corner and around the world before he can give you an answer. You don't want this guy because this guy is just full of himself. And the only thing he's going to do is present as if he's the man. And if anything ever comes up about that relationship, you were the problem. I hope I'm helping somebody. I hope I'm helping you out, Ashley. I hope I'm helping you out, Chandra, Tamika. I hope I'm helping you out. So here it is. So that's what it is. Now, man, the next man that we have is the man. Listen to me. It's really about to get a little sticky in here. It's about to get hot. All right, here we go. The next man is the man who has his business and his life together and is looking for the woman who will compliment him. But here it is. Here's where it gets tricky. And I know y'all about to log off. He is looking for someone. I don't know if y'all ready for this. He is looking for the woman who would best fit him. So what he does is he may take multiple women out at the same time because he's trying to find who's the right fit for him. Now, here we go. Pastor, are you endorsing a player? No. I want you to understand that it's actually not wrong to do this. If you are shopping, I hate to put it this way, but just follow me. If I'm shopping, I take multiple shirts off the rack. I try them on. You do the same thing to make sure that it fits. Some shirts look great on the hanger. Some pants are great, sweaters, coats, jackets, and you put it on and you go, you know what? This ain't a fit. That's lunch. That's dinner. Where the player comes in, where men are labeled players, is when the boundaries have been crossed. And now it's not that he's taking several people out on a date. That ain't playing. He playing you when he's sleeping with multiple people at the same time. That's something different. So just because he took you out to lunch one time don't mean he's into you. Just because he took you out 4 times don't mean he's into you. Maybe one day it was after work and y'all worked late and both of y'all were in the office and, hey, you hungry? He's hungry. He said, hey, you want to grab a bite to eat? Y'all talked. Y'all ended up talking for 3 hours about life and how you grew up and everything. Oh my God, he's interested. No, we were at work. We were hungry. We went out. We realized that we had some things in common and that was it. You looking for the second date. He doesn't take you to the second date. Then you see him 2 days later with somebody else. Oh, he a player. That's not playing. Playing is when the only motive he has is to get into your pants and he's in multiple women's pants at the same time. That's playing. I gotta clear this up, okay? Because you can get on a date and guys will tell you this. Please slow down. Please slow down because you don't want to give your heart too early and then now you mad at him because you misread the situation because you wanted to move faster. Because he's 40 don't mean he wants to settle down, okay? The next guy, okay, I hear women a lot of times say that there are no quality men out here and they struggling and all of this. But listen to me, there are good guys out here. Sometimes they're just being misunderstood and they're being misread, okay? Now, let's get to the next guy. This guy has his life together, right? Great job, career. Now, here's the next guy. This is a guy who has his life together, his credit together and everything, but he doesn't want to settle down. Now or never. He got everything together. He just don't want to settle down. All right, so this guy doesn't want to settle down. Then why even get on the train? Oh, if I date him, if I catch his eye, I'll be able to change him. Okay. What I got questions. I'm coming back to these questions. All right, in a minute. So here it is. So if he doesn't want to settle down, he doesn't want to settle down, and you can't make him do that. All right, you just can't. You just can't make the guy do that. He's not going to settle down if he doesn't want to settle down. And so even though he has his act together, he knows that he may look. I'm a unicorn. I have everything together. I'm high commodity. Yay, look, I'm good. I can pretty much do what I want. He has that authority and the prerogative to make that choice because it's his choice. Now, the thing is, just have to make sure you don't put yourself in a place where you're getting hurt because you want him to commit because he's the guy of your dreams. We have to understand that when it comes down to relationships, a man needs to find a woman of his dreams just like she needs to find a man of her dreams. And they are both dreaming together eventually. All right? Let's get to the next one. This guy, all right, the next guy is a man who has his life together. He's looking for a right woman that complements him, all right? And so he's ready to settle down. So this guy has everything together and he's ready to settle down. This guy is the guy you may be looking for. But the question is, here it is, when this guy is ready to settle down, the question is, do you have your stuff together to meet the guy you've been dreaming about? Because sometimes we want things and we don't position ourselves to be on the same level with the person we want. You can't ask him to have his credit together and you don't have your credit together. You can't ask him not to have certain things going on and you have certain things going on. The reality is we live in a time now where pretty much for the most part, it's not in every situation. And the older you get, the truth is you may meet someone who has children and that's fine. You may meet someone who is divorced and has children, or you may have to deal with someone who has children and never married. But it's all right. You have a child. We got to deal with that. It's okay. I love you. I'm going to love them. So we don't, oh my God, I can't do this and that and other. You will limit yourself in being able to experience a man, and you've got to learn how to read these situations, because I feel like sometimes guys are getting bad reps. Now, there's some guys out there that are just not doing right. So don't get me wrong. Every guy here in the streets ain't doing right. Just like every sister ain't doing right. But we have to address the issue, and I want you to learn how to read the situation for what it is, not read into what you want it to say, because that's two different things. And I'm seeing so many women, they're heartbroken because they're saying, I thought it would be different. Now, what I want to do is I want to answer some questions. So I'm seeing some of you answer some questions here on this. Ma'am, he brought you a sandwich and sit down. So, right. So don't get excited because the guy brought you a sandwich, or, you know, he saw you working late and he dropped off something. He's interested. No, he saw that you were hungry. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. You know, he saw, you know, your feet were hurting with your heels and he decided to take your bags to the car. Oh my God, he took my bags to the car. Yeah, that's the only thing he did. He took your bags to the car. Don't read into something that is not there. Okay, don't allow the clock that you're on to force yourself into a toxic relationship with a guy who has no standards, no dreams, no aspirations. But there are guys out here who are trying their best to do their best. And the truth of the matter is there's stuff and issues on both sides of the fence, and we both have to deal with our mess. So I want to answer some questions. So I'm on here looking through this. So if you have questions, let's deal with this. So what you guys got? What you got? I want to see some questions. I'm seeing comments. Thank you guys for commenting in the package deal. Right. It has to go both ways, Tiffany. Now, if a guy is doing stuff and he's showing you who he is, that's what it is. Men, if a man wants you, he's going to pursue you. Is he pursuing you? If he's not pursuing you, he's not interested. It doesn't make him a bad person, and it doesn't make you a bad woman. He's just not interested. Okay? How do you get back into dating after being single for so long? Now, listen, great question. Now, I wish I could give you the best answer to this. I'm married 20 years, next year. So I'm just going to speak to you from what I've heard. People are on dating sites and all this other stuff. This is what I believe. And I might be wrong with this. This may be old fashioned. I was talking to someone the other day and I told them, you need to get into your Ruth position. Now, everybody can say, oh, don't get spiritual and all that. But I'm serious. This is really practical. When you look at the book of Ruth, the Bible speaks about Naomi. Naomi is married to Elimelech, has 2 sons. One marries Ruth, one marries Oprah. Her sons and her husband die. Naomi speaks to Oprah and Ruth and says, listen, go back to your homeland and start all over again. Go to your families. She said, even if I had children, it would be too long before you can marry again. And I don't want to mess up your life. So what we see are 2 women who were married. They had husbands that died. Oprah went back home, but Ruth said, no, I'm going to stick with you, Naomi. And the Bible says they go back to Bethlehem. When they get back to Bethlehem, Ruth's responsibility is, I'm taking care of Naomi. I'm going to make sure she's good. I'm going to serve her and I'll make sure she's good. She goes out and she's working. Ladies, please listen to me. I don't think y'all hear the things that we say sometimes because you think one thing because you're listening to your sisters. I've got to tell you straight tonight what guys are looking for. So she says, I have to take care of my mother-in-law. She gets out and she works. Ruth is out here, no matte makeup. Her nails ain't done. Her toes ain't done. I don't even know if her hair done. She probably don't have, I don't know. She probably she's hot. She's sweaty. She's dirty. She's in the field picking up the leftovers from what the reapers have left. Now look at this. Look at the scripture. The Bible says she is working at such a rate that what happens is her work ethic caught the eye of Boaz, not her looks. Now, please, I want you to look good, wear your makeup and do your thing. But the number one thing that is attractive to a man who has it together is a woman who's working on her own stuff. I'm going to say this and I'm about to get in trouble and I'm probably going to lose half of my viewers on this. Sisters, stop posting quotes about my future dear husband and this with this. Stop. You look desperate. That looks desperate. Stop. How about posts I made moves? How about posts I got a degree? How about posts I'm going back to class, or I'm starting a branch of another business or extension, or I'm investing, or I'm traveled. I'm doing. Stop posting stuff about you waiting on your future husband. That is such a turnoff for men. That means, oh, can't do that. Can't take her out. She's expecting too much. Stop posting stuff like that. I'm gonna lose. I done lost 2 views already. Come back. Y'all come on back. It's interesting how you do things thinking it's attractive. Eyelashes, wigs, nails, toes done, girdles, all this stuff. But is that you though? Like, you have so much fake stuff on. We don't even know what the real you look like. I'm about to lose all my help right here. We don't even know what the real you look like. I mean, and I'm not against a wig. I'm not against eyelashes. I'm not against lipstick and all. I'm not against it. But you keep adding stuff on. But here it is. You get confirmation from your sister talking about, girl, you slaying. And he going, she looked like, yeah, she looked like that. Like that, and he's not even attracted to that. And so you package yourself in such a way. Now the question is, if you got married and you got into a serious relationship, would you do that every day? Most women, no. So why are you doing it now? So now you building the expectation in him that that's what you're going to do. And then you start dating and he realizes you ain't that. That guy wants you to look good when y'all go out, but he's also into that girl who's in sweats and a t-shirt, got her hair pulled back in a ponytail, she has long hair, or she got her hair brushed down, or she got on a polo hat. He's like, can we chill? Can we walk in the park? Can we just go grab, a sandwich? Can we just chill? Can we go to a movie? Now, I don't want to, how many children do you want to have? This is the second date. What are you talking about how many children I want to have? That's too much. That's too much. I am trying to help my sisters. Are you hearing me? All right, so there's nothing wrong with that, but please, I'm telling you, all the artificial stuff y'all keep adding on and adding on and adding on is a turnoff. Balance that thing out, please, because I'm trying to tell you, it's just, you got 20 different hairstyles. Like, which one is your hair? Like, I don't even know. Like, men don't like all that. Most guys I know, they don't like all that. Like, that's a wig, that's cool, that's nice, fine. But come on, you got too much. You got green and purple and black and brown and short and long and silver, and nah, that's too much. Stop all that. So we got to get all that. Now I know y'all ain't liking me now. I know y'all not liking me. It's all right. So how to get back on the dating scene? Back to Ruth. Get in the Ruth position. What she did was she was working. Her work was attractive. Her work was attractive. Not her hips, not her thighs. He didn't see her face. He saw her from a distance and said, who's that? I see her grinding. Okay, Proverb 31 woman. She's building her house. She's making breakfast. Her reputation is already in the land, that her reputation makes her husband looks good. That's the kind of woman you want to be. Not a woman looking for someone to save you from some castle, because then nobody's coming to rescue, all right? Somebody said you look like a clown. I'm saying. All right, what other questions you have? I hope I'm not missing questions here. Kevin, great point. Kevin says, stop telling men you don't need them. We hope you get it together, but no one wants to be with someone constantly telling them that they don't need them. Now, here is the thing. A man wants to help you if he sees you need help. Like, if you know how to change, I don't need no help. I got a flat tire. I change my own tire. Okay, we'll change your tire. I was saying is, I'm with you. I should be able to do that for you. But now you won't even let me be the man you said you want me to be in your life. That's just from another man. I'm just saying, where y'all questions at? I want to know where y'all at. Where y'all at? Where y'all at? I don't want to keep y'all too long. I want to answer these questions. I'm getting comments. What about the guys that drift in and out of your life, but he appears to be a decent guy? Listen, great question. Any guy who's drifting in and out, let him drift in and out. At some point, you got to draw a line and say, look, I'm not going to let you drift back in. Next time you drift, it's either you're going to stay, because I don't have time for you to be double-minded, unstable in all your ways, like a wave going back and forth. If he's interested, Gene, listen to me. He will come after you and he will be consistent. Now, sometimes guys will kind of drift because they feel like I don't have it together. And so they don't want to present something they don't have. So they're not trying to present themselves as being fake. So sometimes it's like, oh yeah, I'm making strides, I'm ready. And then something happens and it's a setback and then they fall back. And so you have that issue. All right, so sometimes too. All right, so we have another question. What if you're an independent woman and you're very upfront immediately about what you want and don't want? I don't want to waste any of my time and his. I'm coming across as strong. Yes, that's extremely strong. Now, okay, let's say you're dating this guy and he says, let's go out to dinner, whatever. I don't know, let's say he takes you to Ruth Chris, something like that. Something real nice, he's got that kind of bread, so he takes you to Ruth Chris. And you're talking, and hey, where you from? Oh, I'm from Charleston. Where do you go to college? Oh, I went here, I did this was my degree, and blah, blah, blah. You tell me, oh, that's interesting. Oh, wait. Okay, listen, let me tell you. I am 41 years old. I don't have no time to be sitting here playing no games. I want to know, do you want to have a family? How long would you be engaged? 6 months, a year? How many kids you got? Do you want to buy a house? What's your credit score? Right there? No, that's way too strong. Back all the way up. You got to back like all the way up. You can't do, that's so strong that he would be like, oh my God, I need the waiter to bring me the ticket right now. That drive back to your house, if he's pleasant, he will have a conversation with you. But I promise you, that conversation is over. It's a wrap. It's a done deal. You would not get another phone call because it's too strong. It's nothing wrong with knowing what you want. Know what you want. But he don't have to know all of that up front. So if you say, look, I'm a type of girl that if I'm, lady, I'm a type of woman that if I'm dating, let's see what happens. Here's the timeline. You date. You go out once. Hey, let's go out next week. Okay. Once a week. Y'all went out once a week for a month. Okay. Next, y'all exchange phone numbers. Y'all texting, y'all talking. 2 months, y'all go out twice a week. Maybe he bought you dinner, drops them off, groceries at the house or whatever. Hey, we do whatever. It's a pandemic. I don't even know what y'all doing at this moment, but, can't go out a lot of places. And then like 6 months in, it's like, I think this is really good. I think this might be the one. And you kind of say, that's kind of make this a relationship. That's cool. 7 months, 8 months, maybe a year. You say, yo, this is it. This is the one, right? Maybe a year and a half, he comes and he pops the question. But that's a year and a half. You got to give that time. You can't just jump into a guy. Now, if you've known the guy and all that, and y'all been going back and forth, you can probably be a little strong with it because you like, I ain't playing no games with you. If this is round 2, but round 1, that's a little strong. All right. Oh, I got Shanaqua on, my classmate, high school classmate. What's up, Shanaqua? Lord have mercy. We can't do, say, or wear anything. Just sit in the manicure in front of me like a mannequin. No, that's not right, Chandra. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is look your best, present your best, but never show any level of desperation. Desperation to the wrong guy, he will take advantage of you. Desperation to the right guy, and he will want to make sure that you're right and you're healthy. So what he will do is invest in you to make sure that you get to be the woman you're supposed to be. And with that, he has to identify if you are fragile or if you're not in the place, are you a fit for him? You don't have to be a mannequin, I promise you. What is this conversation like with men? Are men really open and honest about making commitments? I don't think guys have problems with commitments as much. Now, I know y'all about to get mad at me on this. No. Let me say this. Let's go back to my list. There's some guys who don't want to commit. They just don't want to. Whether they don't like I love, enjoy being single, doing what I want to do, and that's some guys. Other guys, not so much. So there's some guys who want to commit and others who don't. All right. You said something key. If he is interested, he will pursue. So women should never pursue or make the first move. I'm not saying a woman can't make her first move. If you see a guy and you're like, hey, how you doing? Blah, 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 introduce yourself. I don't think there's anything wrong with introducing yourself as a woman. Some traditional views is no, let the guy do everything. I don't think it's that serious. You can introduce yourself. You can start a conversation. Just make sure that as you make the first move, just make sure you don't do it too hard. But I don't think there's anything wrong with that. What if you aren't where he is? Let me see. What if you aren't where he is? Should you fall back? Okay. You have a choice to fall back if you're not where he is. Like sometimes people in two different places, like spiritually. As a Christian, I think one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of Christians make single is that you compromise Christian values. Like he could just love Jesus and we'll make it work. Nah, you got to show me that you really love the Lord, not, and it's more than church attendance. Another thing is some guys can play you, like even in church, like they'll come, they have their hands lifted and they praising God. And you're like, oh my God, he's a worshiper. But he may know, like, all I got to do is lift my hands and I'm going to get your attention because I knew you in the worship. You know what I'm saying? So, and just because a guy is not demonstrative in worship doesn't mean he doesn't love God. Okay? Everybody isn't a David. So we got to make sure we are clear on that. So, all right. So, great questions. I hope I'm helping you guys. Somebody say, Tasha, you do not have to look like, oh my God, Oprah Winfrey in the color purple. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying I can't wear makeup. I'm saying somebody needs to see the real you at some point. All right. You got out here natural deodorant. No, see, okay, I can't fool up with y'all. I am not saying y'all can't wear deodorant. Please wear deodorant. That's definitely a turn off. You really gonna come off strong. All right. So we're gonna go. Listen, we've been doing this for 40 minutes. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to just like I said, give you something to think about. I'm not trying to tell you, once again, not to bash guys. I mean, there are great guys out here, but everybody isn't compatible. Like when you look at different situations, everybody is coming from like if a woman, like for example, my daughter, she's a cutie, right? So if my daughter fixed her hair, like Bree wants to be the princess. She's all princess. She wants the tutu. She wants the dress. She wants to twirl around. She's already in my wife's lipstick. She's fingernail polish, toenail polish. She wants her hair done. Look at my hair. Is my hair done? She's 3 and she already there, right? Which is fine, which is fine. So she comes to me and she says, Daddy, how do I look? Oh, Bree, you so pretty. Oh, Bree, I love your smile. Bree, I love your hair and your bows. What I'm doing is I'm affirming her as her father. Now, if someone did not get affirmation when they were younger, it's going to put you in a very vulnerable place because you may start looking for affirmation from men. And if some men who are not healthy in their lives pick up on the fact that affirmation is the thing you need, they will affirm you until the point that they could abuse you. And so whatever areas that you're lacking in your life, you want to address that so that you are healthy. You want to be emotionally stable. You want to make sure that you're financially good. You want to make sure that you spiritually sound and strong. And just because you attend church don't make you strong. People all the time, I grew up in church, can't quote 5 scriptures, but you're spiritually strong. That don't make no sense. Like, I don't like where they do that at. So, that's like going to the gym every week of your life and coming out talking about, I worked out. No, you just attended the gym. So just attending church does not make you spiritually mature. So you may know church, but don't know God. And so that's the thing. And so I want you guys to know that as you deal with reading men, read what you read, and it is what it is. Read what you see, not what you want to see. And reading is not just calling the words, it's comprehending. You need to know, you know what? I need to back up. You know what? I'm pursuing this too hard. You know what? I'm just a little too strong. You know what? I'm going to let him call me. Because after a while, you will find yourself doing all of the reaching and he's not reaching back. And it's a sign that if he's not reaching for you, he's not interested. I remember one thing my father told me when I was calling a ministry. He said, son, a lot of people feel like they call a ministry. He said, but you know when you called, when they call you. So if you ain't getting no calls and you said you called to preach, you're probably not called to preach because you're not going to be called and don't get no calls. I say that to say this. If he's interested, he's going to pursue. If he ain't pursuing, he's not interested. All right, and don't waste your time. So listen, I got one more question. I'm going to let you guys go. What's a decent dating time frame before any type of exclusivity? I'm sure it varies from 2 to 3 years. Is 2 to 3 years too long? I think for me, I think, a year. I think dating someone for a year is pretty safe. Like a year, especially, with those who are dating and you're older, I think a year is safe. 9 to 12 months, I think that's safe. After 1 year, then we can start seeing what we can do. 2, 3 years, you can do that. It's not a right or wrong answer with that. But I think if you're going to be serious, I think after a year is pretty cool. To do that. 6 months, 3 months, that's too fast. Is it okay to want to wait? Is it okay to want to wait until you build a solid foundation to date? Like not interested until you. Right. It's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I want to get myself together before I date. Remember, you don't want to be a project. You don't want to date a project and he don't want to date a project. And y'all don't want to marry projects. And because you can't even build your marriage because y'all trying to get yourselves together thinking that coming together, it would make it work. You got to have something coming to the table. All right. Everybody is not going to get married and that's just what it is. Yep, Tiffany, that's the truth. That's another thing. Everybody isn't going to get married. And even though everybody don't want to hear that, you can't fall in love with the lie in hopes that one day you find your Prince Charming because it may not be there. All right. So, I love this though. So just go out on dates for the rest of your life because the older men, she said the older men are worse. Oh my God, it's hilarious. If you know you don't want more kids, shouldn't that be a discussion early? Or how early would you say? I think when the relationships get serious and y'all thinking about starting a family, yeah, but I think that's something, I might be wrong with this. I think that's something that women think about a little more than men. I don't think men are opposed to children, but I don't know if men are thinking about having children the way women do. All right. Great questions. Listen, I'm not going to hold you. Straight Christian single men, are they out here? All right. So listen, some guys are here playing plain stuff. Be careful too, because God, sisters, listen to me, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let you go. If God has someone for you, He has someone for you. You don't have to lower your standards. And I came to tell you, you can live a fulfilled life as a single woman. You can. There may be some things you don't get. That's life. But you can live a fulfilled life as a single woman. Don't lower your standards. Read the guys that you are, interested in dating, or maybe hang out from time to time. But you don't have to really go through all of the changes that a lot of people go through. And so I just want to let you know that, look, it's more out there, and you don't have to lower your standards for that. And if you get married, great. If not, it's all right as well. So I want you guys to know that it's going to be great. So I'm going to let you go. But before I do, I want to inform all of our sisters of something that's coming up. My wife is doing a virtual conference on November 13th and 14th called Anointed to Recover. So you can actually go to our Facebook page, her Facebook page, mine, or Instagram page, and you can actually register. And so it'll be great, especially if you're trying to make sure you position yourself for next. Anointed means to be empowered. And so there are a lot of women who are dealing with a lot of issues, a lot of damages, a lot of damage from the past, and people have said things. And I want you to know that God has anointed you to recover, and we would love for you to register for this. And I believe God will bless you if you are a part of it. So listen, make sure you do that. I love you guys. Make sure you continue. So if you want to submit your questions, I don't know if they put this in the link, but I had a thing. So this is what I'll do. On Facebook, after this is over, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the link to my website. And if you have questions about dating or whatever, let me know, just whatever. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to do some of these Facebook Lives. I will do them shorter so that we can, have open conversation. And I really hope and pray I said something that helped. I know everything I said didn't feel good or even sound good. Once again, ladies, wear your makeup, look good. I'm just saying, leave all the artificial stuff, leave some of the artificial stuff out of there. You know what I'm saying? At some point, I want to smell real roses, not fake ones. And so enjoy your evening. Love you all. I'll put that link into my Facebook page, and I look forward to hearing you guys soon. Enjoy your evening. Get some rest, and I'll see you.